Nobody move.
Nobody gets hurt.
I'm Nick G.
I'm Mike D.
And this is Good Cop, Bad Cop. I'd like to thank our sponsors today, Pop McCann Whiskey, smoothest drink in the land. Grab your bottle today at popsmcannwhiskey.com. Also like to thank Friends of Martina White. Visit votemartina.com for more information about the work Martina has been doing as state representative of Pennsylvania. We would also like to thank our sponsor, Beyond Creative. If you're ready to take your online presence to the next level, visit beyondocreative.com or call 267-362-WEB1 to discuss your project. And our title sponsor, AR Law, arjusticenow.com. We fight so you don't have to. Adams Renzi Law. We would also like to thank our sponsor, Morrow Flooring, hardwood, laminate, vinyl, tile, and carpet. You get military and first responders discount. That is Morrow Flooring. You can go to goodcopbadcoppodcast.com. Click on his link for more details. Ho, 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 Michael.
Merry Christmas.
This is Good Cop, Bad Cop podcast, the Christmas special. So we'll get into some Christmas stories. We'll talk a little bit of politics. Please, I want to thank you again. Top 15% of all Spotify podcasts. Please like, share, leave reviews and comments. It helps us out. YouTube, subscribe. We need to get our YouTube subscriptions up and get in the top 15 of YouTube, which would be quite an accomplishment. Yeah. But with your help, I think we can do that. So today's episode, we're going to discuss, let's get right into it. This is going to be a little quick hitter in between Christmas and New Year's.
Right.
Let's talk about Trump's picks. Trump, obviously, we haven't discussed this. Thank God, won the presidency and saved the country. Right?
What a relief. Do you feel a sigh of relief in the streets? Or is it just us?
No, you know what's funny? The entire country kind of breathed a little easily. And I would say that's even for some of the people that voted for whatever her name was.
Well, Harris, fine. I'm getting old.
Yeah, if the news was reported appropriately and they gave real news and not state scripted propaganda, you would see what Trump pulled off, the union of different people and parties.
It's amazing. The coalition.
Yeah, the coalition. Right? So people talk about diversity and equity and all that. Right. Let's look at the equity and conclivity. Is that what the good word? I'm trying to be like you, Michael.
No, don't get crazy. Don't get crazy on this.
Of Trump's coalition. I mean, I think he got the most votes from the black vote ever, especially out of any Republican, not Democrat.
Right.
Women voted for him, in high numbers. I think record numbers of Hispanics. Yep. It really was, a coalition of different peoples and backgrounds. And again, if things were reported correctly, 30 years ago, people would blow their minds. Have you ever seen a president put Democrats, a Republican president, or a Democrat put Republicans in their cabinet?
I'm not aware of it, but it's possible. But
Trump has.
A lot of people, obviously, and listen, he has really turned the game. He's changed the game
forever.
Look, when you bring in RFK Jr. to your staff and make him a prominent figure in your administration from the beginning, basically
Democrat
before he even. Yep. Before the elections.
Wise move.
I mean, again, it was a coup.
It goes to show you Kamala's, she has no political
acumen.
Yes, thank you. No political acumen whatsoever. From her pick to Tim Walz, which she admitted during the campaign, I didn't get a lot of sleep, and I kind of made a rash decision. Who the hell admits that during your campaign?
Is that what she said?
Yeah, she said that. She's on the record for saying that. Terrible pick. Again, I believe it was anti-Semitism that led them to pick Walz over Shapiro, who could have he would have basically on a silver platter. Pennsylvania,
there would have been a million votes there easily.
Pennsylvania would have went blue. It could have changed the election. Yeah. He's not an idiot like Walz was, or a liar. Right. No, he's a very astute political candidate and a worthy rival of anybody. And thank God for her anti-Semitism, because she kind of served Trump up a win.
Even though she's married to a Jewish man,
she is. Yeah.
So the anti-Semitism in the party.
These people, and I say these people, the progressive liberals that are currently running the country, if they could get the power they have now and the money by being a conservative, they would be conservative.
Of course
Whatever way the wind blows, that money comes in their pockets, it is what they'll do. She was against fracking in 2020. Now she's for fracking.
Yeah.
Fracking for
away.
I mean, so much stuff.
Frack away.
Get the electrical vehicle mandate. Everyone's going to drive electric cars. 2024, no, gas is great. I never said that.
Once Musk became on board, they were like, no more electric mandates because he's with Trump, right?
You have
no more electric car mandates. We don't want this trillionaire to become a bigger trillionaire. That's
dude, that whole thing. I love watching them. I love people. I think one dude's name's like Tesla Bro. He got a lot of followers. I hate Trump. I hate Musk. Blah blah blah. And yet your name's Tesla, bro, and you have a picture of your Tesla up there. Dude, it's one of the greatest gifts I ever have because I get to go to myself all the time. Yeah. These people hate Musk. He was like their king.
Yes, he was.
A couple years ago. Yes. Now they hate him. But look, I mean,
well, he bought X. That pissed them off.
Dude, he saved democracy. He did.
I have to say, he did. Yes,
and if anybody can look at X, and be real with themselves, right or left. The right was being silenced. We have proof of it. The FBI were directly involved with Twitter staff, giving them mandates.
Yes.
Shutting up conservatives.
They were on their staff as well. They would leave the FBI and go to staff these media organizations.
Big bucks.
From CBS, NBC, Fox News, Twitter, Facebook. They hired all these ex-FBI guys that were in the suppression business.
Yes, and
it's insane.
And that's election interference. They interfered with the election, especially in 2020.
Are they all getting arrested? That's what I want to know.
Well, it's funny to see. So we hear the Biden...
the pardons?
The pardons. He pardoned his son, which he said he would. Not only did he pardon his son, he pardoned his son for everything he's done
in his life
from 2014 till now. It's unbelievable. But again, in their greed, obsession to just get Trump and how they break laws and fabricate shit. Well, you made the playbook for us too. That's fine. You pardon them. We'll just do what Bragg did. We'll get a district attorney and we'll lock them up state level stuff.
Yeah. It'll be in 10 different states. So they have to travel and have lawyers on staff in those
different
states.
Is there state Ricos?
Yeah.
There's state Ricos?
Oh, yeah, there is state Ricos.
Is there? Well, there you go.
100%.
Yeah, we don't want to do it that way. It should have been the norm. Now we do.
We want to do it.
You shouldn't want to have to, though.
No. But
this is where they went.
They're going to pardon
Lawfare.
Liz Cheney's scared to death. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
What's that about? Why would she be scared? Or Schmidt. Was it Smith or Schmidt?
Smith. Yeah, Jack Smith.
Jack Smith. He's panicking.
Yeah. Well, they all need pardons now. And that's what you hear, these like the podcast bros.
Comey.
Is that mass pardon? Who else is going to get pardoned? Why the hell are you going to ask?
Hillary.
Dirty. Dirty.
Did I spit on you?
No, dirty. They're dirty people.
Comey, Hillary. I see you going like this. Like, I don't know.
No.
I shit in your eye or something.
Nope.
You all right?
Nope. No, just mention their names gives me the EB-creebies. Hillary's a piece of shit.
Bro, listen. One thing I have is admiration. But here's the difference. I admire a good criminal. What does that mean? A guy or girl who picks their crime, does it to perfection, and eventually they get caught, okay? Or not. Because then...
I think that's all America does. That's all the movies.
People admire that in a way. And Hillary, I had to say, there's a point where I admire what she did, but here's where I differ with Hillary, opposed to a regular gangster, because she's a gangster, let's be honest.
Oh, 100%.
She's a gangster. The difference between her and a real gangster is she has the law in her hands.
Yeah, well...
She makes the laws, and she controls people that enforce the laws. That's the ultimate gangster, I guess, in a way, but that's not a fair gangster, because then you'll never face justice for your actions.
They're the biggest... It's the biggest mafia in the country is the government, and they're leading it. And there's so much evidence and proof, and 30%, maybe 40% of the country will never look at it. They're hardcore blue. You could say same of the right, but I think people of the right can think for themselves and separate issues even with their own candidates. It's something that the rabid left can't do.
You know why? Because we're willing to listen. I'm willing to listen.
Yes, we're not indoctrinated with this rabid ideology.
But they think we are, and that's the
that's what it is.
thing.
That's what they think they are. And I hate when people say, it's always got to be, the rabid left, blah, blah, blah. Don't forget about the right. No. It's not the right. There's no problems in this country right now caused by the right.
Yeah, are they burning churches down?
All our problems are from the left. It's another thing. Look at all the people from this 9/11 insurrection, never charged with. They're still in the basements of prison right
January
now.
6th.
January 6th.
Yeah.
They're political prisoners in our country.
Yeah, in America.
And no one gives a shit. No one's talking about it.
That's disgusting.
Now, if we turn around, we could justifiably arrest people for insurrections on Capitol buildings across the country. Look at what they did in Seattle.
Courthouses.
The courthouses. They barred the door and tried to set the building on fire.
Why aren't they in jail?
Nope.
None of them.
How about this old lady, I think 86 or 90-something years old, that was praying in the hallway on the floor of an abortion clinic? They sent her to like 3 years in prison.
Yeah.
She's sitting in a hallway of an abortion clinic peacefully.
Trying to keep people from killing their children.
It's lawfare. They don't give a shit about the person. They know that the regular people, and that's what Donald Trump says. I believe it. It's not after. They're not after me. They're after you.
Yeah,
I'm in the way.
It's 100%. What about Gates? The appointment and then the
Matt Gates.
Then the removal of his appointment, the rescinding.
I honestly believe that it was done in good faith, and Trump really wanted him, and it's just too much shit. And he sent what's his name, J.D. Vance, kind of did the Senate tour with Gates, meeting with senators, and I believe J.D. was there to take the temperature in the room, see if there was a chance that they were going to get the votes. And he went back to Trump and said, "There's no way this is happening."
Is that right?
Yeah,
I wasn't sure how that played out.
And they switched, he switched to Pam Bondi, who's excellent.
Yeah, it's over.
Probably going to be better than what Matt would have done. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Matt Gates.
Matt Gates. I think he's going to get a position though. I think he's going to get the.
He's absolutely. He's not going to
get the under. He's going to.
He's not going to be left hung out to dry. He's been a Trump loyalist from the beginning.
Right. He's going to get like an under position.
Yeah.
So actually be the real pit bull in the room when Pam Bondi's signing checks or something. He's going to be in there. I think he's going to get what they call, because you don't have to be confirmed through the Senate for the next level down position.
Yes.
And that's just as powerful as the
he'll
top
be
position.
working under Pam. I believe the same thing. I think that's going to happen. Yeah. Then you have Pete Hegseth as the Department of Defense, right?
Yeah. What happened? He had a couple of drinks.
Secretary of Defense.
He had a couple of drinks at a studio?
So this is what happened, and Megyn Kelly's podcast is great. You guys should check it out.
Yeah.
She broke it down.
She went from my favorite to my least favorite, and she's back on board.
Same.
Same. And she is beautiful, let's be honest.
And she's fantastic. She's very intelligent, articulate.
Yes, she's,
I enjoy listening to her.
She stepped on her dick, let's be honest with each other.
Yep.
She did step on her dick, and she pulled it back out, and then she went back to being a woman, which was, and I don't mean that in a demeaning way.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
She stepped on her dick, let's be honest. She barked up the wrong tree going after Trump for being some kind of misogynist piece of shit, when everybody in the whole media world apparently, between Diddy on up and down and around.
You can go to every Democrat, and they'll have skeletons, but it's not talked about.
Right, because they control the media.
Yep. So she broke it down pretty good. She was missing the point. I wish I can get a hold of her and explain it to her. She couldn't understand why certain things happen. So I'll break it down real quick. Pete Hegseth is at a conference for women, conservative women. He's like a fox in a hen house, per se.
And he's a good-looking
guy, famous guy. His handler is this woman. I don't know her name. Don't even want to get into it because of the rape allegations. Yeah. So the handler ends up bringing him back to his room. Now, he's visibly intoxicated by the accounts of multiple witnesses. She was not. Multiple witnesses said she's absolutely sober. No one saw her drinking. Mm-hmm. She's completely dead-ass sober.
Right.
So one of the most disgusting, and some women are just fucking evil, dude. Her husband and child were in that hotel. She brings Pete back to his room. Now, she says that he barred the door and made her stay there. She was there for 10 hours. She told Pete, I'm going to just tell my husband that I crashed in a coworker's room. I fell asleep because I was so drunk. All right, that was this and that. So what she accounts, the next few days, she had sex with her husband again. They wore a condom, which they never wear a condom. So I believe, and because I've known a few cheaters in my day, it wasn't me, she made her husband wear a condom because she was worried about the unprotected sex that she had with Pete Hegseth.
Right.
So apparently, when you have introduced a different partner into a relationship, a woman-wise, when you've been with the same person for a long time, you don't get an STD, but you can get like an infection or a yeast infection because of that. So what I believe happened was she ended up getting this infection and thought Pete gave her an STD. So now she went from just being a cheating whore piece of shit to, I have an STD.
From Pete.
Yep. How am I going to get away from this? Pete raped me.
Peak rate be 10 hours.
Megan couldn't figure out why would she start having sex with a condom with her husband. Well, that's why, because over the next couple of days she thought she had an STD,
Right.
and she wasn't going to be able to get away with cheating if she just burned her
maybe
husband.
Pete just had a huge hammer and
Could be.
he reamed her out.
Could be.
I'm being honest, it could be. He blew her insides out, and then she's a little uncomfortable.
Well,
and why would you tell your husband to wear a condom?
Exactly, because she was afraid of passing something off. That's why I guarantee you.
That's the crime, is making your husband wear the condom.
If she never went to the doctor and never felt some discomfort or had an infection, I guarantee you this wouldn't be an issue. She never would have made them charges. She'd just be a cheating whore piece of shit.
Right.
But instead, she got that. She had to cover her ass, and here we are.
So she lies, and she doesn't get. She's not charged with a crime for alleged allegation of rape.
She went to the police department. Again, they did their investigation. All the accounts. Her account of the night is fabricated. They found that out by all the witnesses. There's people there everywhere. Yeah. They didn't believe her. They chose not to charge him. It's nonsense and bullshit. But of course, same thing we saw with the Kavanaugh appointment, which is the most insane ever.
The virgin, 22 years old?
Yeah, he held some girl down at a high school party or a college party.
For a gangbang.
40 years ago. Yeah. But she doesn't remember where, when, who was there.
Not dead.
Nothing.
She just knows it's in her cerebellum, what they call it?
Yeah, Kavanaugh was there. That's it. I know Kavanaugh's there and held me down. Yeah. And they went after him.
Is that Blasey Ford or something?
Yeah.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Kamala Harris.
Just like the woman that Trump raped in the bathroom. Yeah. Everything's a rape.
I love it. Trump said, look at her. You think I'd rape her?
The sad thing is there are actually victims out there that people, I'm disgusted by the allegations. By the allegation, number one, and two, by the false allegation, it's triply bad. Matter of fact, it's 100 times worse to make a false allegation because you can't defend yourself from a false allegation other than say it's false.
Yep.
And now what? Well, she says it's not. Now
you can't.
What?
That's the same thing.
You're tarred and feathered for the rest of your fucking life.
Yeah, and
that's disgusting.
That's their go-to plays: rape and racism. Because there's nothing you can do to really defend yourself. It's your word versus theirs, unless there's a lot of people there or hardcore evidence. When there's nothing, it's just your word versus them, and it shuts people up, makes them afraid. I don't want to ruin my life. I'll back off.
Yeah, Trump owned the biggest hotel across the street from the store that he allegedly opened. That you had to get the manager to unlock the bathroom with the key to get in.
Yep.
He says he never saw him or her together.
Again, another nonsense.
Hotel across the street he owns.
And then you get her posting about how rape is sexually arousing to her, and she likes it.
Posting? She was on TV. They had to cut the conversation with Anderson Cooper. They went, hold on, cut.
What?
It's a fantasy. Rape is sexy. What?
Yeah.
Are you freaking now?
Nut job.
And you believe anything that came out of her mouth after that?
Yep.
Come on.
Yep.
What are we talking about here?
Fabrications and witch hunts. So
this is Christmas.
Yeah, this is Christmas. I'd like to thank our sponsors today, Martina White. Friends of Martina White can visit votemartina.com for more information about the work Martina's been doing as a state representative in Pennsylvania. And let me tell you, Mike, she's a big supporter of police. She backs the blue. She's a proven fighter for families, women, everybody.
Is she a patriot? Is she America first?
Absolutely. She encompasses, the American spirit for sure. We have a big population of listeners in Northeast Philadelphia, Southeast Pennsylvania, which would be her area. So you can check her out.
Has she been in? I'm not familiar with the Philly district. Is she new to the scene, or is she looking for re-election?
She'll be up for re-election in a couple years, but she's been around for a while. She has a proven track record.
Okay.
You can check her out. Her record really speaks for itself, especially when it comes to fighting for everyday citizens and backing the blue.
It's nice to have someone back in the blue. I mean, the officers are out there risking their lives every day, and with little pay and little appreciation in today's environment, it's been very difficult. And as you know, being a Philadelphia guy,
unfortunately, it's something that's not common. Should be. It used to be a time where both sides of the aisle agreed on law enforcement, and that's something that's completely lacking. But with Martina White, she steps up to the plate, always has our backs, and does what's right.
Great. Good luck with Martina.
Yeah, you can get more information at votemartina.com. I'd like to thank our title sponsor of the show, Adams Renzi Law, AR Law. They can be found at arjusticenow.com. And just to let you know, I know both of them personally. Christy, one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, total sweetheart, absolute pit bull in the courtroom. And Nick Renzi, he's a South Philadelphia guy, true and true, neighborhood man. He's for the people. He helps people out and down in South Philly, all around
Their
Philadelphia.
office is in South Philly itself?
Yes, their office is in right around South Philly, Center City, right on the
Do
border.
they handle
there.
a lot of criminal cases?
They handle everything, absolutely.
Are they on call 24/7 for someone who
always-
might take a pinch somewhere?
Why, you might be taking
Well,
a pinch
I mean,
that we know about?
you never know. I mean, wherever you show up, you got to be ready.
Well, you can keep their card on you.
Well,
Or
there
go
you
to
go.
their
Well,
website and
good,
call
good.
them up.
Will they give me a deal since they're sponsors of the show?
You might get a percentage off. I'll have to talk to her.
Okay. Yeah.
If you used them a few years ago, you might have not have gotten 14 years.
Well, that's another story.
Another story for another time.
That's right.
Again, AR Law, check them out. ARJusticeNow.com. We would also like to thank our sponsor, Beyond.O. In today's world, your business is practically invisible if you're not online. With so many options for marketing your business, it's easy to get confused. That's where Beyond.O Creative steps in. They have the expertise to help you with all of your marketing needs. Need a website that wows visitors? They'll build it. Want to reach more customers with Google Ads? They'll make it happen. They'll even manage your social media so you can focus on what you do best. Beyond.O Creative is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau and Google Premier Partner. They're the real deal. If you're ready to take your online presence to the next level, visit beyondocreative.com. That's BIONDOCREATIVE.com or call 267-362-WEB1, Web 1, to discuss your project now. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Morrow Flooring, hardwood, laminate, vinyl, tile, and carpet, military first responder discount. You know, Tommy, we had him as a guest on a podcast. You can get your flooring done by a real American hero.
Yeah, and he's on time and on budget.
Yes, he is. He will beat any price. Bring a quote, an estimate, whatever you have. Tommy will beat it, 100% guaranteed. You have our backing on that one.
And he'll be there himself.
Absolutely. You can get a real American hero do your flooring for you.
Wait, Cash Patel. Let's hit Cash
All right,
Patel.
Cash. We'll
Come
talk
on, what
about
do you think
Cash.
of Cash?
It's fantastic. He said day one, he's going to turn the Hoover building into the Deep State Museum. And if you still want to say we're QAnon, we're tinfoil hats, conspiracies, well, when conspiracies end up turning out right with facts and evidence, they're no longer conspiracies.
No.
The Deep State exists. It's the bureaucrats that have not been elected that have been put in place over the last several decades. They've been there a lot longer before Obama got there, but Obama placed a lot of them. EPA,
He used them.
IRS, he activate them for
He
lawfare.
knew how to use
lawfare.
them.
Yep.
Yeah, he was very good at it. I got to give him credit.
And that's where this came from. And Cash was a victim. They used a bullshit FISA warrant. So FISA warrant is, I know people heard a lot about it. The way you get a FISA warrant is when there's outside evidence of you coordinating with a foreign actor. It's has to do with outside the country.
Terrorism,
Yes,
basically
it's
designed
not
to
about
catch
something,
a terrorist.
If you're committing a crime or suspected of a crime in the country, FISA warrant does not include it. It's easy to get a FISA warrant under the 9/11 rules.
Patriot Act.
Patriot
Some
Act. Yes.
shit they
So
call
that's
it.
why they
That's
use
some patriot.
That's why they go to FISA warrant act. So they make up some bullshit about Cash. So now they're bugging his phones, his email, everything.
Yeah.
All false for nonsense. 5 years
Oh, it's
later.
not a wiretap, right?
Yeah.
It's not a wiretap. Well, what is it?
Yeah, it's a wiretap.
It's a wiretap.
Yeah, they were allowed to say the phone companies told him 5 years after the NDA expired, and he found this out, and it's a deep state actor. So, yeah, he has an axe to grind, but he's very even-keeled. He's leveled. If you listen to the way he talks or see his interviews, you notice that this guy's no bullshit, but he's highly intelligent.
Very quick on his feet.
And I don't think he's going to commit justice. I don't think he's going to go for revenge.
Yeah.
If you committed a crime,
Right.
and there's evidence to it, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
No, and I like that.
They're scared.
I like that because they are scared because they know they committed crimes. He's not a vengeful guy.
No.
He's a very logical.
And that's going from what we see and what we know.
We don't know him
We
personally.
got to take it on the face of what he
we don't know him
says.
personally. But when you look at a Jack Smith, what do you see?
He's a vengeful piece of
angry,
shit that doesn't care.
lowlife.
Doesn't care what the law says.
Changes the laws.
That's it. That's what they do, man. All right.
Disgusting.
All right, changing hats, putting the Santa
Merry
hat on
Christmas.
right now.
Yes.
Michael, been a good boy this year? No?
No. No, I actually have been a pretty good boy overall this year. Yeah.
So-
relationships are a little tumultuous, and I think
Yes.
we both have been
Oh, yeah.
through some
Oh, yeah.
issues. But
Yep.
other than that, I've been a good son to my parents.
Good. That's
that
very
I really,
important.
that I really feel good about. And my parents are in their 80s now, and they're both alive by the grace of God. And
It's a gift.
And fairly healthy. Yes, it is.
It is a gift.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
very-
I don't have my parents no longer, and the bell no longer tolls for me at Christmas time. You know, it changes. It definitely
Yeah,
does.
it definitely will. Yes.
So I think our listeners would like to hear, everyone knows what Christmas is like outside in the real world.
Right.
I think the listeners want to hear maybe what it's like inside prison when it's Christmas time. Any stories? What's it like? How terrible?
Prison's
Anything good?
Prison in Christmas is very sad. Yeah, it's sad because that's when guys, and just like in the street, you see more people committing self-injury,
Right.
suicide,
Yes.
or overindulgence. Same thing. And I mean, the hooch guy does really good around Christmas. You know, the guy who makes the hooch.
Yeah,
You know,
the
they-
toilet wine. That's prison wine.
No, distill. They
Yeah.
actually, these guys are so good. Listen, you want to learn something? Go to prison.
Yeah.
They know how to make Everclear in the walls at the prison. They put these stills together. They're amazing. These guys are amazing.
Yeah, if they did that towards good, the world would be a better place.
It's amazing.
Right?
The
They probably
talent.
cure cancer.
It's amazing. Oh, they probably have. They won't let him out.
Yeah.
They won't let that guy out. It's amazing what these guys can do. But you know what happens is sometimes the bag will explode in the hooch. See, that's the wine hooch.
Yeah.
And they put it up in the false ceilings. And then the damn ceilings start to sag because the wall, and then you can't go get it because the cops are looking, and it's usually right under a camera somewhere. So you have to be crafty. But these guys are really good. I mean, I learned a lot in prison. In fact, I'm thinking about going back and learning more.
Okay. Bad idea.
No, I'm
Be
kidding.
tough doing a
Because if you see it
podcast from there.
happens, you know something went south.
So what are you
We can
doing?
do a podcast from prison.
Yeah.
They got so many more things. When I was in prison, you got a letter.
Yeah.
Now they got emails.
Laptops
they got
and yeah.
Oh my God! You got porn. You're good.
What are you doing at Christmas time in prison? Are you drinking a lot of hooch?
No, I don't. I didn't do a thing in prison, like inappropriate.
Good.
I was really a straight A student in prison. I worked the drug program. I worked the alcohol programs there. I was a really good inmate, and I don't mean like a brown nose. I used my prison time. You saw that I was in amazing shape when I was young, and pretty and all that shit. So I was in great shape. I worked out a lot. I had a very small group of people that talked to me, and it was hard. What's it like telling people you work with the bad cop on the show? It's hell, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it is, and sometimes you take the good with the bad. Some people love you. Same thing in prison with me. Most guys just didn't want to associate, but they didn't care. Then you always had the haters, and then you had the guys that really liked to be around with a cop, or they liked. Because don't forget, most of those guys are on the edge of being a cop.
Yeah.
But they got in trouble too young. Cops and criminals, they run the same mindset. So there's a lot of. But prison is very sad at Christmas time. We get better food.
So they changed the food at Christmas?
You get a better meal on Christmas. Generally, it's a piece of beef or something like that. And the same thing for New Year's. Like 3 or 4 holidays, we get a better meal.
Any decorations put up?
Yeah, they actually will put up a tree.
No kidding.
Yeah, they'll put up a tree.
Any gifts exchanged?
There's some gifts exchanged. No, there's
flesh?
You know what?
The flesh gift?
You know what? I'm not going to say there isn't, because guys look out for one another. It's like community.
Yeah.
Prison's a community. There's a school where on the prison grounds where
Any specific event during Christmas time that
that
stands out to you?
Listen, prison. Very little stands out to me in prison. It's strange because a lot of things happen in prison. But when you're in prison, you stay in your lane.
Right.
So
it's all kind of just, when you look back, it just all runs together.
It's just one big. I'm going to tell you this. I was in a cell most of my life in prison, right? Obviously. Sometimes you're in a dorm. I never finished counting the blocks in the room. And every time I started, I'm going to finish this time. And somehow I got distracted. I couldn't finish. And I would do the math, 9 rows, 12 across. Then I go to the other side. And I never got the total. I mean, is that fucking...
Yeah, you might have to go back and get the total.
I'm a numbers guy. I don't want to get the total. Someone could write me from federal prison in Mariana or Devens, Massachusetts, or McKean, Pennsylvania, or wherever the hell else I was.
Did you guys get any extra calls for Christmas or family?
No, you got a bump up in your commissary allowance, and visits are very prison visits are very liberal, and by that I mean you get many, pretty much as much as you want. There's no real intimacy, obviously.
Right.
It's it's like this and this, they're watching you. You can't. I got caught grabbing a few things once in a while. Yeah, you got to do it. You're a man. You're a human. I got a little trouble, but not big.
Right. Yeah, I don't blame you, man.
Hey, listen,
sitting right there. What are you going to do?
It's not easy.
As Trump says, grab him by the pussy.
Grab him by the pussy.
As long as you have, you're allowed permission.
Yes, free.
They never played that part though, where he says, if they let me, if I'm allowed to.
If I'm allowed to. If they let me.
Yeah, if they let me. Yeah, they don't play that part.
That part doesn't come out.
It
doesn't play well. Yeah.
Let's say, my Christmas.
So prison, was it was sad.
My Christmas time was, storybook, I guess you could say. Mom and Dad always gave me everything I wanted and needed, and Christmas was special. My mom decorated, looked like Hallmark in the house. I have a lot of fond memories of Christmas, and tried to do the same thing for
you got siblings?
Yeah, I got my brother lives in Tennessee. We don't really see each other all that much. I don't have that much family anymore. They're a lot older, and
but when you were together, your brother and you,
it was great.
Christmas,
yeah,
nice, fun. Was it camaraderie?
Yeah. I had a brother, sister that 10, 12 years older than me, so it wasn't like same age hanging out.
But they're almost like you're helping raise you, I guess.
Yeah, they're just I was a little pain in the ass and annoying. But Christmas time was always good. A lot of cousins and uncles came over. Most are going by now.
Stop by for a drop off with some snacks and some treats and some sweets.
Yeah, we had the walnuts out there and the Entenmann's cake for company right there, and the little bowls of M&Ms would come out that year. And I fucking loved it. And the cookies,
the suckers, the hard candies.
And we'd bake cookies, and they would have to hide it because I'd fucking try my best to find it. One year, we just got a puppy, so we had a table with a tree on it and a skirt. And I'm thinking to myself, there's no way they're hiding the cookies right in the living room under the damn table.
Right.
So I looked for fucking weeks. So finally, it's like Christmas Eve. I'm laying down TV. I'm like 15, so I should know better.
Oh, come on now.
And my feet went under there, and I kicked something. I'm like, what? I look it up there, man. It was like, hallelujah, boxes of cookies, dude. But it's Christmas Eve already.
Yeah,
you would have poached.
You would have poached it and got it
early. I would have been eating
you
cookies.
You like the milk and cookies
for 2 weeks.
You do the milk and cookies?
Yeah, dude. After saying that and all the other nonsense.
I love milk and cookies.
Oh yeah. So nothing. And on the job.
Sugar cookies, I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this big one. Yeah, nice.
You like? I like the hairy cookie.
The hairy?
My favorite.
Well, that's sugar. It's sweet.
It's sugar and sweet, depending. Could be fishy.
Little plum.
Could be a little fishy.
It's all right. That's just rinse it out. Just rinse it back.
And police-wise, I don't think anything. Thanksgiving, I had one of the wild nights. 9 assists. We were battling people.
Thanksgiving's that's a big day for the police.
So what's your call for help for cops? What do you say?
1013, 1085. 1085 to a 1013 is the real.
So 1013. Yeah. So we had about 7 or 8 1013. So we were fighting the neighborhood. So I was in Kensington. Cops from West Philly, which is like a 20-minute ride, lights and sirens, were next to me fighting. Like the entire city was there, dude. It was wild. Like I had a guy in a wagon. I had another in my cuffs. They're trying to free him. I'm kicking people, holding on to my prisoner. I got my nightstick stolen. Fingers broken because of within the cuffs. He's twisting around. My fingers
that happened to me once.
Piped through our wagon window. It was wild, man. But Christmas time is always kind of slow, which is good.
Yeah. Thanksgiving.
So I do remember.
I almost shot a girl on Thanksgiving.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I had to squeeze the trigger.
Really?
I was squeezing it, and I was able to. She had a knife. She would come at me with a knife. I'm like, I'm in a hallway this wide. What am I going to do? What happened was I was able to step into another hallway, like the doorway.
Yeah.
From this hallway into the doorway to get away from her and grab her hand. I'm like this, with a gun in one hand, a radio in my pocket, and grabbing her. I almost killed her. In her own house, 16-year-old girl.
Really? That's sad.
She just was like, she was in space.
Yeah, see, people don't understand. We don't want to hurt people. We're trying not to kill people. But
holidays. Holiday story.
I got a good one. And this might make me the bad cop because I was drinking on duty.
Oh, no.
We'd split the day in half.
Right.
And you'd have some cocktails. I went to a friend's house.
It was a holiday.
All Polish.
It was a holiday. You did some shots of vodka? Yeah.
No, so a krupnik, which is this Polish delicacy. Well, I had so many krupniks that the rookie partner I was with had to drive me back in the station. I was pretty much hanging out the window making my own sirens.
Wow.
It's a good time.
Really?
Yeah, so I was a bad cop, I guess.
Boy, I could tell stories about that.
We whacked the
subject matter.
We'd whack the day up too. So we don't.
You drove the first half.
No, they'd go home. The other crew. So because it's light day.
Yeah.
Criminals took off on Christmas, which I appreciated.
Christmas was good for that, but I actually personally loved working the holidays. it.
Did you?
Because I loved
Yeah, I didn't mind it
loved
either.
it because the people were always in a little bit of a better festive mood. Most people are, hi, officer.
Not Thanksgiving. Christmas and New Year's were good.
No, but I like the action on Thanksgiving. You always got a little piece of turkey somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? But I like the action on Thanksgiving. But Christmas and Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, it was
New Year's Eve, dude. So we'd have to
as long as you're not working the ball.
No, New Year's Eve in Kensington, you have to sit under the L for the first few minutes because there's so many bullets being shot. And seriously,
Yeah.
you have to sit under a bridge or a highway, wait a minute or two, and then respond to calls because you don't want to get hit. Bullets go up, come down, and they can fuck you up.
Yeah, I know. I did that once by accident.
Yeah.
I shot a dozen off.
Well, statute of
It was
limitations.
straight up. So they probably came down in my
Straight down.
pool. They came down in my pool.
Jesus. All right, well, that's our holiday episode. I hope everybody...
Happy holidays to everybody.
Yeah, happy
Merry
holidays,
Christmas.
whatever you celebrate. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Please go to goodcopbadcoppodcast.com. Check out our socials. You can hit us up at YouTube, Spotify, within the top 15% of all Spotify podcasts. Thanks to you guys. Please like, subscribe, share, leave comments. It helps us out. Check out our website. You can get some pretty good gear, hats, sweatshirts, coffee mugs, a few other things. Merry Christmas, guys. Happy New Year. Catch you next year.
Thank you.
This episode is sponsored by AR Law, PA State Rep Martina White, Biondo Creative, Morrow Flooring, and Pops McCann Whiskey.